Oi kids, Slacker Kite here, and rather than trying out a one of them old games, I want to see how well the hardware handles recording newer games. So let's play Bastion. We're going to start a new game. I have beaten this before on hard. I haven't beaten it with all the gods, because that's hard. No.
Proper story is supposed to start at the beginning. Ain't so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded on a rock in the sky. He gets up, sets off for the Bastion, where everyone agreed to go in case of trouble.
Now the narrator talks a lot more in this game, so I'm going to be quiet when he talks, if just because his voice is a lot cooler than mine. It's like a southern Morgan Freeman.
Ground up under his feet as it pointing away. He don't stop to wonder why.
I did kind of stop to
Finds
wonder.
his lifelong friend just lying in the road. Well, it's a touching reunion.
Touching reunion, that's certainly a
He
word.
sees what's left of the rippling walls. Years of work undone in an instant. In the calamity.
Depending upon what you do as well, the narrator has
That's
different
surprising.
responses.
No, ma'am. It's a gas fella, forced out from underground. Kid pops him good. Fella got a piece of him, though.
Depending upon how you respond to that, he does change what he says. I was trying to defend, but we don't have a shield
An
yet,
old
guys.
Peter falls out of the sky. Ain't a gift from the gods, but it'll have to do. Gotta hold her still to spin up the chamber.
It's our first ranged weapon of the game. Fairly simple to use. You just kind of point and click. And the cool thing about this is you can target things by holding your
He's
defend
worked
button.
up quite a thirst by now, so that fountain looks real inviting. Sometimes you just need a drink.
As well, this part here introduces you to wandering off the beaten path to get extra things.
Memento from a girl he knew. Always used to fancy her. A school of squirts tunnels up around him.
That was kind of more for the point, and this is you get some extra money to spend. And money is very useful in this game.
It's a wonder the old saloon's still standing.
Oh, I skipped it by accident. That's sad.
He sets foot inside one of Celandia's famous watering holes. Inside's old Rondi, the bartender. The calamity got him before his drinking did. Rondi always wanted his ashes scattered here.
You get a couple
Then
points for
he
doing
finds his
that.
trusty shield. But just as he's getting a handle on it, the security takes him for a petty thief.
Shoot me. Now the cool thing,
Clang. Shield saves his hide.
if you hit buttons at the proper time, you actually counter the move rather than just defending against it. Like, that was not a proper defense.
Windbags start turning up for last call.
But, and let me try with just one, because they're making me nervous. They're all around trying to kill me. Alright, buddy. See, that is a proper counter defense when they swing at you and you hit the button in time. If you're full up on potions when you grab them, you get extra money instead, which is good. This game kind of excels on the whole multiple enemies on screen sort of thing. And forcing you to try to figure out how you're going to handle that. But this game does start off fairly tame. You have this weapon and you have your repeater, and that's about it. it does get a bit more complicated as we go through.
He gets a good look at things on his way down. He lands on top of a breaker's bow, and it ain't broke.
That doesn't look remotely comfortable. You okay, buddy? You don't look good. I think you kind of fell face down from the sky. He's alright. There we go. I've never liked the breaker's bow very much. You have to hold on to it in order to charge up an attack.
Some target practice. He knows he should draw the string all the way back.
It works pretty well with defense, though. You can defend, and when you know you have a chance to attack, just let loose. Which is, you know, always good.
The kid pockets a memento from a breaker, once the fastest man in the land.
We want to capture as many of those mementos as possible as we go through. That's what actually allows you to upgrade. You can buy more with money, but you'd probably rather spend your money.
Defenses still work. Bad news is they're aiming for the kid.
Not going to get a critical hit off on these guys. Oh, there we go. It's a counter. Also, if you're not aiming in the correct direction when you do a counter, yeah, if you're not in the way that the attack is coming, you will just still take damage regardless. It's not like a full 360 shield.
Picks up a few pointers from a dusty old tome.
You also get a special skill. It eats one of your black liquor bottles, I guess, each time you use it, so you do have a limited amount of those. But they are incredibly useful. Falling off only gives you minimal damage, so it's not really the worst thing that can happen. But you do want to try to avoid falling.
He finds the distillery, right next to the arsenal. Tough part of town. One sip of the spirits in that distillery, and the kid'll feel like a new man.
Level 10 is pretty much max level in this game. For each level, you get the ability to carry an extra liquor with you. You start out with these 3 available to you. I kind of like the fetching fizz. It brings those little shards to you more quickly. That way you don't have to go and
the arsenal's where the kid can pick
fight after them
for the job.
Yeah, like I said, I never liked the breaker's bow, so I'm going to set the Fang Repeater as our secondary weapon, with Kale Hammer as the main hand. Right now we have one special skill per weapon available to us. I'm going to stick with Whirlwind. It's pretty good for the whole melee thing. If you get surrounded by a bunch of enemies at once, it can save your butt. Probably not going to be needed as much this early in the game, but, you know, it is still kind of cool to have. That is not the button I meant to hit. There we go. See, I mean, that works out pretty well, right? And it does take care of things pretty quickly, and right now they do want you to use it a whole lot, so they give you extra. You get 3, you can hold a maximum of 3 of both to begin with, and you can get liquors that will allow you to hold more. You find a lot of these people that are turned into statues by the...
Maud, the tutor, once taught the kid good manners. He never used them, though.
By the whole cataclysm that happened. So you do have that going for at least. Before I hit that, I did want to gather all of that first.
The ferry barge sends the kid on his way. The Bastion's real close now.
Oh, this is kind of a defense to see if if you've learned enough from the intro stage.
Kid better watch his step.
And I am doing kind of stupidly right now. You know, still getting reused to controls. Plus, when I played originally, you know, did a whole keyboard thing. Yeah, let's blame it on other things.
Kid takes a chunk of alloy. Smell of barley and spoiled blueberries fills the air. Scumbags. Kid may be shooting
these guys
just did.
Are easier to take out with your ranged weapon instead. We want to kill that off since that's a spawn point instead of just... Oh, there was a hole that I couldn't see. So if you... I don't even remember where I was going. But yeah, we really want to try to dodge as many of these attacks as possible. I find defending, while useful in some situations, it's easier just to let it not happen. And use your trigger to auto-aim on the enemy. I don't know, I guess I like auto-aim in games a lot more than hoping that you're just able to figure out how to do the thing. But, okay, we got rid of one. And these guys are definitely a lot easier to take care of with standing your ground.
Kid puts him out of his misery.
And you can see with the liquor we have attached to us, money just kind of flies at us, which is really useful on your first playthrough, so you don't have to go hunting for everything and get it to come to you. Forget if there's anything special down here. Nothing forms. One of the interesting things is that you never are sure what's going to build a pathway in this game. So it kind of leads to a lot of exploration, which is really one of the strong points of this game.
He finds the core to the Wharf District. He steals the city's heart. Might as well.
The land is actually falling apart behind you.
The place is starting to fall. See, that core Kid took was the only thing making this particular rock stay afloat.
It's better to just run through this rather than trying to attack things. If you stop, you're more than likely going to fall. Not as if, like, you actually get a whole lot.
Whisks him where it needs to go.
But, you know, it does feel better to have actually done that. If you fall off during that part, you just fall.
Something stranger still. His mind races.
And land at the Bastion.
Did anybody else survive?
It's a good question.
Sure enough, he finds another. He finds me. We talk for a spell. There's a bit of the Bastion's power in that crest. Enough to point the way to the cores.
So the kid fell with the crest initially.
All I tell him is to set that core of his on the monument there, then watch. I try to let the kid down gently. This is the Bastion, alright. Except no one else showed up.
That does belong to someone else, and we'll find that out later.
And just like that, the Bastion comes alive. Starts growing again. Growing stronger. Kid's gotta put its power to good use. Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown.
So for each crystal you bring, you can reforge a shop.
Kid ponders what to build.
I like to start with the distillery myself.
Makes time to sample spirits from my personal supply.
You get more after that. Hardy Punch has been added. You can read. I like Hardy Punch. It's just because
Hardy Punch is so zesty, it'll let you carry on through the worst of times.
I am not a genius at these games, so the chances of me dying
They
are
don't
pretty...
know what's out there waiting for him. The Skyway. Now the kid can ride the wind to distant lands.
So the Star Show area we've already cleared. We could do training with the arrow, but I'd rather hold on that for a moment. Let's go ahead and progress with the game, and we'll call that a video.
Now he lands at the intersection between bad and wrong.
Oh, this is the first level with
core down one of these twisted streets. But which one?
with
He heads
branching.
for the biggest dump in town. Scumbag Alley.
I forgot how
Some
often you
scumbag still
talk.
feeding off the city's own trash. And there he is, the oldest scumbag of them all, Gershel. The calamity ain't done much for Gershel's sunny disposition. They always said old Gershel wouldn't go without a fight.
You'll pardon me, I'm still remembering which button is which, apparently. Or maybe you won't pardon me, I don't know. I'm not a cop, I can't tell you.
The path is gone for good, and his city crest won't bring it back. No core, no surprise. Like the gas fellas are hiding it from him.
Why, thank you, Mr. Narrator. That does, however, nift us
He
a
heads for
nice
the east side, where windbags used to keep the local forge.
bonus.
Somehow that old forge is still standing.
Learning how to roll out of attacks is really one of the best things you can learn in this game. You know, it keeps a lot from going wrong,
Place
potentially.
to find the likes of Percy the Snitch. Never much cared for that big wide grin of his. Inside the forge, he can fine-tune those instruments of his.
So those something heavy, something stringy, etc., they're actually your upgrades for your items. I'm going to start out with the hammer if we have... Yeah, we do have enough. So you get an option per tier, either more damage or more crit. More
Kid's
damage.
lifelong friends looking fit to keep on fighting. Core ain't here neither, so he's gotta guess again. He heads for the squirt steps. Won't be no field trip this time. Scumbag can digest just about anything. Except for this. It's quick for slicing, and light enough to throw.
So yeah, jamming on the button, quick swings, and if you hold, it charges and you can throw it. Fairly straightforward, except we powered up our hammer instead of this, so we've lost that power up at this point. Plus, it doesn't really destroy objects around you as quickly as the hammer, so it's a lot less fun, in my opinion.
They say even the most rambunctious squirts can be tamed.
But in a lot of ways, more useful.
No sign of the core here. At least the kid got something for his trouble.
That's true, and the squirt lure is pretty fun as far as power-ups go, I think.
Them squirts just don't know when to quit.
This fountain is always going to be there, so you can drink it
where the gas fella foreman used to live, tending to his flock.
Much as you want.
Know why gas fellas all dress alike? Kids wondering the same thing.
Attempting to try to kill these guys with counters probably not the best idea I've had, but it kind of works.
And there it is, but it's locked down tight in an alloy cage.
Why, this doesn't look like an arena at all. What are you talking about?
Blustery old foreman is keeping his fellas in check, almost like he's showboating for the crowd.
You don't have to kill his friends off, but they are really annoying. Luckily, he only has his whirlwind attack.
And now there's a new marshal in town. He hears the whole place groan, but it's too tough to fall. Kid's ready to go, and his ticket out's right where he started.
Sadly, our repeater isn't exactly the strongest weapon in the game, at least so far. We'll get better, but definitely not my favorite. So I guess
he
we'll
comes back, just like I knew he would.
Go ahead and lay down.
Hums in his pack. The monument's calling for it.
A couple parts, and apparently I don't know how to not talk.
The windbags used to be alright, then the calamity took the floor out from under him.
You can collect items that summon little monsters to help you out. They don't really do anything yet, other than be cute.
Kid does it again. Only fair he decides what we build next.
So you get the option of the forge and the arsenal as I want back my hammer.
The Bastion's a place of peace, but we can hold our own if we have to.
Myself, out of these available options, I'd probably rather keep with the basic.
Peter goes with a hammer better than a box of nails.
And the game does autosave, so we can consider ourselves done for now. May continue with this, may not, but there we go. Hardware test complete. Let's see how this looks. Later.